days there was no electricity.
People had to cut peat for burning.
They burned peat to warm their houses and cook their food.
Peat is old plants broken down over a long time. It is an early form of coal.
You dig it up when it is wet. Then when it is dried out, you can burn it. We learned a lot about life with the peat bog. Owen came into the school and told us about peat cutting. He showed us which side of a bank to dig on.
He said that every day children used to bring 1, 2, or 3 logs of peat to this school to keep it warm.
Maggie, our cook, told us that she hated peat cutting.
She never got a real holiday when she was a child because it was all taken up by peat cutting.
Children had to help with peat cutting. It must have been hard.
She told us the black peat is the best for burning. They had to carry creels home, filled to the top with peat. They were very heavy. The creels were made of willow, and the ladies knitted while they walked with their heavy loads.
Sometimes people had to walk miles with them.
Applecross has blanket bogs. This is how they are formed.
Step 1. 6,000 years ago, lots of trees are covering the land. They were mostly pine and birch trees.
Step 2. 1,000 years later, the trees are cut to the ground by people or lightning or fires. People could keep sheep and cows now. The weather changed to being very wet. The rain went into all the cleared land.
Step 3. Heather begins to take over the clear land. The bog grows with all the rotten plants on top of each other. Step 4. The peat keeps growing on the highlands and forms a bog. In the lowlands, people start farms. Step 5. The peat bog is now big enough that people come and cut it for fires. Sometimes trees are planted at the edge of the bog. We collected everything together to take down to the peat bog.
It was a bumpy path and we were carrying heavy loads.
Leslie had set up a green tent for shelter at the bog.
When we arrived, we started by building dens.
We were in 2 teams. One had a green tarpaulin. My team had a blue tarpaulin.
We used poles and sticks and tarpaulins.
We stuffed heather in the holes of the poles so the tarpaulins would stay on. In the end, it was warm inside the den.
I stuck a pole deep into the peat bog. We'll see if it's there next year.
I liked making dens. It was lots of fun. It was hard work.
Next, we looked for plants that live in the peat bog. We found a butterwort. Butterwort is a fly trap. Once 2 hairs on the leaves are triggered, the plant closes on the fly.
We found heather. Heather has been around for millions of years. There are 4 colours: red, green, purple and orange. There are also pink flowers. Sphagnum moss was everywhere because it
is one of the main ingredients of peat. The sphagnum moss was squishy and it looks like little green stars.
We found lots of bog cotton. Bog cotton is very soft. People used it for stuffing their pillows.
Bog myrtle was used for perfume. It had a nice smell.
There was a lot of lichen. It was used for dyeing wool.
At the end, we rolled around in the moss. Marion lit a fire to make hot chocolates at snack time.
The smoke from the fire was peaty. Mr. O gave us a quick lesson in how to cut the peat. Then we got started.
First, the top layer of turf and moss needs to be taken off. Use a spade to cut the top 20 centimeters off. Mr. O did this for us, but next year we want to do this for ourselves.
Next is cutting the peat. You need to line up the Torskian, the peat cutting spade, with the edge of the bank. Now push down as hard as you can. That should cut the peat. The lifter then throws the current onto the bank. Current is the Gaelic word for lump of peat. Be careful not to break the current when you lift them. 3.
Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, who held on who Owela, Vicyarlan and Ratibana, Vicyarlan and Ratibana, Vicyarlan and Ratibana, Prinner Meadow Long Yesaya, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, who held on who Owela, Abandon Glasgow Valley, Abandon Glasgow Valley, Abandon Glasgow Valley, none big and speck on Larry, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy Lockero, Hialin Beckhoy.
Once you have cut the peat, you have to stack the peat. The name of the stacks is ruan. You put one curran on its leg and then lean 4 others into it. Then put one on top.
In a few weeks' time, come back and turn the current around to help them dry.
Three days before we went, we made oat cakes.
Oat cakes are a traditional Scottish food. We made them in 2 groups. Making oat cakes was fun because we made them in shapes. On our peat cutting day, we had them with cheese and hot chocolate.
Yum!
The peat bog going for miles. Squelch, squelch goes the peat. The soft moss like a bed. A fresh peaty smell like mud. Sitting in the tent drinking hot chocolate.
Squelch, squelch goes the peat, peat like tar. Hot chocolate bubbles on my tongue like velvet cheese. Soft moss making me bounce up and down, stink of sweat.
The blanket bog lays like a hill, the peat like a soft bed. I was as dirty as a pig, dry air rippling through my mouth, smelled like dung.
Steaming hot chocolate in my mouth, moss pulls me in. Children running around like maniacs, slimy peat in their hands. The burning peat drifting across the bog.
Wind blowing in my ears, grass waving in the wind. A pole stuck in a peat boggy smell drifting in the wind. The yucky water sitting in the puddles.
Boggy taste in my mouth, big bank like a cliff. The wind trying to blow the dens down, peat like wet tar. The yucky water sitting in puddles.
The wind in my mouth is a bad, bad taste. Green moss like mini broccoli. Black peat as smooth as soap. Torsky and cutting the peat. Wet old peat stinks.
The wind trying to walk over the shelters. The wild wind tugging on my hair. Soft peat like a bed. Black smelly peat tingles my tongue. Pigsty. We finished the bank and it was time to go home.
My favourite part of the day was cutting the peat because it reminded me of a digger.
I love watching my friends peat cutting it because it was like a TV.
My favourite thing was eating the hot chocolate and oatcakes because I like eating.
My favourite thing was sticking a pole deep into the ground because it got stuck.
We all liked peat cutting because it was hard work, challenging and fun.